Hey, what's up everybody? It's Coach Matt, EliteThrowsCoaching.com, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about the dreaded double pump in the glide shot put. Now, what is the dreaded double pump? Well, we're going to talk about that when we get out into the throwing circle. But before we get out there, I just want to remind everybody to subscribe to this channel by clicking that link right down below. Subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and make sure to give it a like or a comment. That helps this channel out quite a bit because it is an older channel. These do not just pop up like brand new channels. They have millions of people who watch their videos. If you want to see these weekly videos, if you want to see the new videos and get this free help, subscribe, click the notification bell, and then every single week when this video comes out, you will be notified about it, and you can check it out for free as always. And make sure that you are improving your glide. Make sure also, guys, share this around to your teammates and your coaches so they can give you help during the season. Problem number 4 in this glide shot put series is what I like to call the dreaded double pump. Now, what is the dreaded double pump? Now, it's kind of confusing because you do see a lot of very high-level athletes who use this movement in the circle, but it's something that we don't really want our beginner throwers doing. So if you take a look, the top two that pop into my head are Michelle Carter when she won Olympic gold. It's that classic slow motion throw from all different angles that's been shared around and around since that happened, and David Storrell. If you take a look at those two gliders and you take a look at their non-throwing arm, you're going to see what my high school coach used to call the double pump. And I'm going to show it to you right now. The double pump is super common. It's something that we don't normally teach to our young throwers, but it's something that a lot of them do anyway. It's something naturally that happens because we're trying to tell our throwers, you need to be really explosive, you need to be really fast, you need to be really powerful, you need to gain speed across that circle. So do everything you can. Go really, really fast out of the back and then try to carry all that speed, all that force into the finish of your throw. So they use their non-throwing hand to double pump. Here's what it looks like. We can be in the back of the circle. We can be in a really, really good position in the back, shot up against the neck. And what we do is we take this non-throwing arm and we glide and we use that left arm to give us more speed and to give us more power through that circle. Here's the problem. The problem is when you look at someone like Michelle Carter, when you look at David Storrell, they are athletic enough and graceful enough and strong enough and experienced enough where that pull of the arm does not mess up their throw. When we see a younger thrower who's just learning to do the glide or who's been doing the glide for maybe a couple of years, when we see them do that double pump, it causes massive turbulence to the throw. Because what do we want our athletes to land in? We want our athletes to land in a proper power position. We want the chest back over the power leg. We want the eyes back. We want the left hand or the non-throwing hand back. We want to see all their weight on that right leg. But if we double pump, a lot of times our athletes, number one, are not quick enough to bring the arm back. So they're landing in a power position like this or like this, open to the throw. We want to see them closed. They aren't quick enough to bring it back. Now, if they know enough and if they are quick enough to bring it back, normally it's not smooth enough where it's going to not affect the throw. They're pulling it back and then they're throwing it toward the back of the circle. So they're gliding, they're doing this. One, they're taking that arm, they're going back and then throwing it behind their body again. And that's not what we're looking for. That's not what we want to see happen. The average arm, I actually looked this up on Google, the average arm weighs about 12.5 pounds. So if we have just an average shot putter, say it's a guy, he's 5'10", 190 pound, high school shot putter, someone who's a sophomore, junior, been doing it for a couple of years, they are taking that 12-pound arm. We want everything to go into that throw. They're taking their arm, they're pulling the arm one way, throwing the arm the other way, and then opening that arm into that throw. That's creating a ton of turbulence. That is creating a ton of pressure going one way, the other way, and then back again. It's going to throw them off. It's going to make it so that their throw is not smooth. It's going to make it so that their throw is extremely turbulent, and it's going to affect the amount of distance they can put on that shot. So you might say to yourself, well, if Michelle Carter can do that and win a gold medal, if David Storrell can do that and be one of the best guys throwers in the entire world, why can't my 14, 15, 16-year-old athlete do that? Well, because your 15, 16-year-old girl is not Michelle Carter. And your 15, 16-year-old guy is not David Storrell. They're just not. They don't have the athleticism, the genetics, the coordination, the balance, the experience, the rhythm. They don't have the touch that those throwers do. So we want to make sure that we're not getting them to throw that arm. We don't want them to explode and drive that elbow back or open that arm up to get more speed through the circle. What's going to be more of a benefit for our throwers is if we keep that non-throwing arm back and relaxed. If the throwing arm is back and relaxed, then we don't have that turbulent back and forth movement. But if it's back and relaxed, we can just open that arm up, get that arm out of the way, and finish the throw right down the middle. Now, if you do have a thrower that is having trouble pulling that left arm, that non-throwing arm, and trying to use that arm to get across the circle, you need to try to get them to stop. Now, a lot of times telling them to stop is not going to do it. A lot of coaches will do that. They'll say, don't do that, don't use that arm, don't pull that elbow in, keep that arm nice and long, but it's not really going to help them. You need something, sort of a physical cue, so they realize they're doing it. All you do, it's very simple. Take a piece of rope, an old belt, you can take a rubber band, one of those longer elastic stretch bands, or something like this. This is just a stretching strap that has a bunch of loops sewn into it. Have a partner hold one side and have your thrower hold the other side. And if the partner's holding one side, the thrower's holding the other side, it's actually going to resist them from pulling their arm. So when they get set up in this position, you want to see them holding it with a little bit of slack, holding that. And if they go to glide and they pull that elbow, you're going to be there holding them back. And they're going to feel instantly when that happens. So that's going to teach them to keep that arm long, keep that arm relaxed, and make sure they're not using and tugging that elbow to try to get more power through that circle. So again, just to finish up, is it an addition of power? Are they going to move faster? Are they going to have more speed if they throw that elbow? Yes, but there's a cost-benefit ratio to this. If you have a younger thrower and they're trying to gain speed, they're trying to gain additional movement and additional power through that circle, there's a trade-off. So what's the trade-off? Well, the first trade-off, the one that I commonly see, is athletes are landing like this, where they don't have the arm nice and long. The second trade-off is, of course, turbulence. They're in the back of the circle, they're taking this 12-pound arm, they're exploding and they're landing here, taking that arm forward and backwards, and it's causing a lot of movement. The other drawback to it is a lot of times they use it in conjunction with what we talked about last week. Last week the problem was you're not pushing the head back. We don't want that to happen. We don't want you to glide with your head and with your upper back. Now, if you combine that with the elbow, you're creating a ton of turbulence and you're adding to the problem. If you're here and you start to pull that elbow, the upper back and the head might go with it. So keep that arm nice and long, keep that arm relaxed, and keep that arm back so you can actually land in a better position with all your weight back. The movement of the glide is going to be a lot smoother and less turbulent of a throw. And having that arm long means that when you get into the power position, you can actually use that left arm and put that into your throw. All right, everybody, I hope that helps you out. Just like I said in the beginning of the video, make sure to click a lot of these boxes that are popping up. One of these boxes, probably here or here, that's going to talk about our overnight camp in Allegheny College in Meadville, PA. It starts on Saturday, June 29th and goes until Tuesday, July 2nd. So it's right at the end of school, but before July 4th holiday. Make sure to check that out. And also check out the other videos that are popping up right now, the playlist that goes along with this, to check out the first 3 videos to help you guys out some more. Thanks so much for tuning in. Click all this stuff that just popped up, and I will see you next week.